What should guys stop being insecure about? Intelligence. Nothing will happen if it turns out you're not the smartest person in the room. Admitting that you don't know something doesn't make you a loser. Acknowledging this makes you smarter than half the people. An excessive desire to argue turns a guy into an arrogant jerk. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. Beard. Many guys are insecure about not being able to grow a beard. In fact, it doesn't really matter. Many girls do not pay attention to the beard, and it does not make a man more attractive. If you can't grow a beard, you can just accept it and not worry about it. Because true attractiveness comes from confidence. Size. Insecurities about size are just as much of a myth as girls' insecurities about breast size. My husband married me when I had completely flat breasts. As I got older, my breasts grew, and my husband likes them just as much as before. Thinness. If you can't gain weight and feel insecure about being thin, remember that it won't last forever. As you get older, your metabolism changes, and you might face issues with gaining weight. You shouldn't be ashamed of your body, even if you can't put on weight. As you get older, your metabolism changes, and you might face issues with gaining weight. You shouldn't be ashamed of your body, even if you can't gain weight. That's not a reason to worry. Balding. Conflicts over balding are unnecessary. Some guys try to hide their baldness and get hair transplants, but honestly, it's better to just shave it all off. That can be really attractive because confidence always draws people in. Interests and preferences. Guys, don't worry if you like girly things like fruit smoothies, romantic comedies, or singing in the shower. Girls don't pay attention to those little things. The main thing is confidence. You also shouldn't worry about liking certain things, like cute dogs or the color pink. That's normal. Body and weight. You shouldn't feel insecure about your body. There is no need to strive for the ideal that is imposed by society. Self-confidence is way more attractive. This applies to both weight and muscles. Most girls don't expect you to meet some ideal, especially when it comes to your body. Emotions. Men need to stop being afraid to show their emotions. Emotional openness improves relationships and helps you be more honest with your partner. It's important not to hide your feelings and not to suppress them. Hairstyle. A lot of guys feel insecure about their hair and spend a lot of time styling it. But the truth is, girls don't pay that much attention to hairstyles unless it's something really unusual or unkempt. Body hair. You shouldn't worry about body hair. Hair on your chest, back, and other parts of your body is totally normal. And if you take care of your hygiene, there's no need to worry. Body hair is natural and many girls don't see it as a problem. Masculinity. Don't worry about not meeting imposed standards of masculinity. If you enjoy playing video games or wearing pink, that doesn't make you any less masculine. It's important to be yourself and not to conform to others' expectations. Just because you like playing video games or wearing pink doesn't make you any less masculine. It's important to be yourself and not to fit into someone else's expectations. Financial success. While financial stability can be an important aspect, girls do not look for partners just for money. What's more important is how you approach life and how you can be a helpful and supportive partner. Exercising. You don't need to strive for the ideal athletic body to impress a girl. The main thing is proper nutrition and taking care of your body, not exhausting workouts just to please someone. Your body shouldn't be just for the eyes of other people. How can guys boost their self-confidence? Confidence comes from accepting yourself as you are. Start by stopping worrying about things that are out of your control. Make sure you take care of your body, your mental state, and your appearance, but don't get hung up on things you can't change. Confidence isn't about having no flaws. It's about being able to deal with them and keep moving forward. You should be proud of yourself for what you do and who you are. What little things can boost self-esteem in guys? The first thing is taking care of your body. Exercise, keep up with hygiene, but don't stress about your appearance. When you feel comfortable in your body, it immediately shows in your confidence. The second thing is positive thinking. Accept that no one is perfect. Everyone has their weaknesses and flaws. But it's important to work on not letting them become your complexes. The third thing is self-improvement. Learn new things, develop your skills, and be curious. Not only will this help you become smarter, but it will also contribute to your personal growth. The fourth is expressing emotions. Don't be afraid to show your feelings. Be open and honest with those around you, especially with your loved ones. Emotional maturity and the ability to open up will not only help you build relationships, but also make you more confident. How can guys learn to be more open and confident? Being open and confident is a process that takes time. To become more confident, it's important to learn to accept your weaknesses and work on them. Openness comes with practice, starting with small steps. For example, express your thoughts and feelings in conversation, give yourself compliments. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable because true confidence comes when you accept yourself with all your flaws. With every success in accepting yourself and being open, you'll become more confident. How important is it for guys to express emotions in relationships? Expressing emotions in relationships is extremely important. When a guy doesn't hide his feelings and openly talks about what he's feeling, it strengthens trust and understanding. If a guy suppresses his emotions, it can create a barrier in the relationship and lead to misunderstandings. Women appreciate it when a man expresses his feelings in a way that fosters a sense of closeness and trust. Emotional openness creates a healthy atmosphere in relationships, which is the foundation for successful development. What would you advise guys who are worried about their height? Height is one of those things you can't change, so it's important to learn to accept it as it is. If a girl decides not to date because of height, then she's not the one worth building a relationship with. It's important to remember that looks aren't everything. In relationships, other qualities are valued, like character, the ability to communicate, and supporting each other. Don't worry about your height. The main thing is how you feel about yourself and how confidently you carry yourself. How can you be confident in yourself if you think you're not manly enough? Masculinity isn't just about the physical body or societal stereotypes. True masculinity is self-confidence, the ability to take responsibility, being honest, and caring for others. If you like something that doesn't fit traditional notions of masculinity, like singing in the shower or wearing pink, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's perfectly fine and truly attractive when a man isn't afraid to be himself. Confidence and self-acceptance are what true masculinity is all about. It's perfectly fine and really attractive when a man isn't afraid to be himself. Confidence and self-acceptance are what true masculinity is all about. How can guys reduce stress related to their physical appearance? The first step to reducing stress is self-acceptance. We all see our flaws, but it's important to learn to love and accept them. Gradually, you should learn to appreciate what you like about your body and also focus on your strengths. Don't dwell on what you don't like. Stay active, take care of yourself, but don't be hard on yourself. If you lead a healthy lifestyle, it positively impacts your confidence. In the end, what matters most is not how you look, but how you feel. How important is it for guys to develop their emotional maturity? Emotional maturity plays a key role in relationships and personal confidence. It's important to develop this maturity because it helps you deal better with difficulties, conflicts, and stress. An emotionally mature person knows how to express their feelings, is not afraid to take responsibility for their actions, and is able to respect the feelings of others. This allows you to build healthy, honest, and harmonious relationships. By working on your emotional maturity, you become not only a better partner, but also a more confident person. How can guys cope with societal pressure regarding masculinity? Societal pressure can be challenging. Masculinity is more than stereotypes. True masculinity involves emotional maturity, caring for others, expressing feelings, and standing up for loved ones. Define your own masculinity, not imposed standards. Authentic masculinity includes emotional maturity, the ability to care for others, the skill to express your feelings, and standing up for those you love. To cope with this pressure, it's important to define for yourself what you consider true masculinity and stop following imposed standards. It's important to stay true to yourself and not worry about what others think of your personality. How to overcome the fear of failure and rejection. Fear of failure and rejection is a normal part of life, especially if you are trying something new. To overcome this fear, it's important to start seeing failures as steps on the path to success. Every rejection is an opportunity for growth and learning. Gradually, you'll realize that failures don't define you as a person. They just show that you're trying and learning, and that's already a success. It's important to learn to be tolerant of yourself and not judge yourself too harshly for mistakes. How guys can learn to express their feelings without feeling weak. Learning to express your feelings is a process. And it's important to remember that emotional openness doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, it's a sign of strength. To start, try with small steps. Talk about your experiences with the people close to you. Don't hide your emotions. Even if it's fear or vulnerability, it will help build deeper and more honest relationships. Understanding that expressing emotions makes you stronger and more mature, not weak, will help lift the feeling of shame and make communication more open and trusting. What would you advise guys who are worried about their body image? If you're worried about your body image, the key is to learn to appreciate yourself just the way you are. We all have our unique traits, and it's important to remember that appearance isn't the only thing that attracts people. Taking care of your body is good, but it shouldn't be a goal that weighs you down. Instead of getting hung up on ideal standards, focus on being healthy and happy. A pleasant appearance often goes hand in hand with confidence rather than physical traits. Keep yourself in a good mood, do what you enjoy, and don't stress over the little things. How to get rid of the fear that your weaknesses will make others reject you. To get rid of the fear of being rejected because of your weaknesses, it's important to understand that everyone has their flaws. They make us unique, and the real people who will be around will accept them. The fear of rejection often comes from perfectionism, but life isn't perfect. Instead of hiding your weaknesses, learn to see them as part of who you are. The more open and honest you are with yourself and those around you, the easier it will be to build real relationships based on acceptance and trust. How can guys boost their self-esteem if they don't feel manly enough? If you don't feel manly enough, it's important to realize that masculinity isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. It's individual for everyone. A man is not only a stereotype based on physical strength and cruelty. It's also about being caring, responsible, and open. Boosting your self-esteem starts with stopping the search for external validation of your worth and focusing on accepting yourself from within. Understanding that true masculinity lies in inner harmony and confidence in your actions will help you strengthen your self-esteem. Understanding that true masculinity indeed lies in inner harmony and truly having confidence and assurance in your actions will help you boost your self-esteem. How do you deal with the feeling that you don't meet societal standards of masculinity? You can cope with that feeling by accepting yourself as you are. Social standards are often imposed from outside and do not always reflect reality. It is important to remember that every person is unique and true masculinity is not limited to a set of stereotypical traits. It's not just about strength or toughness, but also about the ability to show care and emotional maturity. Confidence comes from focusing on your inner world and how you feel in your body, rather than on what society expects from you. So, what should you do if you're constantly worried about not being able to please other people? If you're always stressing about not being able to satisfy those around you, it's important to learn how to set personal boundaries and embrace your own values. What should you do if you're constantly worried about not being able to please other people? If you're constantly worried about not being able to please those around you, it's important to learn how to set personal boundaries and embrace your own values. Constantly trying to please everyone around you leads to stress and a loss of your identity. Learn to trust your decisions and feelings and don't wait for approval from others. Remember, it's impossible to please everyone, and when you meet your own needs and values, you attract those who appreciate you for who you are. How can you learn not to be ashamed of your emotions and show them to others? Not being ashamed of your emotions and showing them to others is a process of embracing your vulnerability. It is important to realize that emotions are a natural part of human life, and they do not make you weak. On the contrary, when you openly express your feelings, you become more human and accessible to others. To start, try sharing your experiences with people close to you, in a calm and safe environment. The more you show your vulnerability, the easier it will be to accept your emotions as a natural part of life. How do you avoid letting society influence your beauty and attractiveness standards? Don't let society influence your beauty standards, because appearance is a subjective perception. Fashion trends, beauty standards, and popular images are just temporary concepts that change frequently. It's important to learn to value and accept yourself, rather than following someone else's expectations. Everyone has their own standards of attractiveness, and the most important standard is the one you set for yourself. Taking care of your body and mental state should come from you, not from what society dictates. How can you learn to be more confident in relationships? Confidence in relationships comes from trust and understanding. To be more confident, you need to work on openness, honesty, and mutual respect. It's important not to hide your feelings and needs, but to share them with your partner. You shouldn't be afraid to show weakness or vulnerability because relationships are built on mutual support. The more you trust your partner and receive support from them, the more confident you become in the relationship. What should you do if you feel like you can't be yourself in a relationship? If you feel like you can't be yourself in a relationship, that's a sign to reassess what's going on. Real relationships are built on mutual acceptance, and you should be able to express yourself as you are. If you feel like you have to constantly pretend to please your partner, maybe these aren't the kind of relationships where you'll feel happy and free. Real relationships are built on mutual acceptance, and you should be able to express yourself as you are. If you feel like you have to constantly pretend to please your partner, maybe these aren't the kind of relationships where you'll feel happy and free. Talk about your feelings with your partner and try to figure things out together. How can you create a more harmonious environment for both of you? How can we help guys deal with insecurities about their appearance? To help guys deal with insecurities about their appearance, it's important to encourage self-acceptance. I want to remind you that your appearance doesn't define your worth, and many qualities like character, kindness, humor, and confidence are much more important. Constantly comparing yourself to others or beauty standards only leads to dissatisfaction with yourself. The goal is to learn to love yourself as you are and to recognize your strengths. The environment you're in is really important. If the people around you support you and show that they value you for who you are, it helps to reduce inner tension. How can guys stop being afraid of being vulnerable? To stop being afraid of being vulnerable, you need to realize that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a sign of strength. Being open with others and showing your emotions is a sign of maturity and self-confidence. It's important to start with small steps, sharing your feelings and emotions with the people close to you. Don't hide your feelings and don't be afraid to seem vulnerable. Over time, you'll realize that vulnerability only makes you stronger and helps build deeper and more genuine relationships with those around you. Girls, write in the comments what you think guys should stop worrying about. And what insecurities do you think are unnecessary?